So we continue our journey through the Singaporean blockchain scene here with Perlin. And Perlin is one of the most talked about projects in the world, actually. Tell me about it.
So we're really addressing the next billion users. What we see as the hugest opportunity, the killer app, is income. So what do you do for the people, the billion people who are on $1 a day? Well, if you can help them earn money, and the way we do that is they plug their phones in or their laptops in to our ledger. We create a marketplace. They can rent or sell their compute. It's kind of like Airbnb for your compute on your mobile phone, and they can earn $20, $50, $100 passively at nighttime. So it really is now an exciting time. We've signed an MOU with the Indian government. We just signed today with Telkomsel, which is 180 million users in Indonesia.
Congratulations.
And we really want to bring the next billion users on stream.
Tell me a little bit about your raise. You know, we're at a difficult point in time in the market.
Yep.
Tell me a little bit about your capital raise and your plans.
It is the best thing that could happen to us, honestly.
Is it?
Yeah, as a high quality project.
Listen to this, the best thing that could happen to us is the bear market.
So basically the best projects always come out of the bear markets. Ethereum came out of a bear market. Google came out of a bear market. We definitely see that. So we were the highest rated project on a big website called Crypto Briefing. We got 96%. We were inundated with 3,000 investor emails. We were 30x oversubscribed. The beauty of today is with the quieting market, we can focus on getting work done. So our technical work has been steaming ahead. We're just releasing our testnet. There's a whole bunch of work that can be done.
Interesting. So you're planning your crowd sale for when market stabilizes?
If the market cap stays around the 200 mark and then comes up a little bit more to 230, that's when we see the upward trajectory, and that's when I think there'll be a lot of confidence in quality projects. And yeah, we really see in the next 2 months, we expect to rally, and at that point I think a public sale makes a lot of sense.
So you've been very successful in your capital raise. As you mentioned before, you were 30 times oversubscribed.
We've been working on this now since December last year. This is my 4th project in the crypto space. I've been here since 2014. Right now, AWS, Google Cloud Compute is a $300 billion market. If we can get 1% of that to decentralize, we're redirecting $3 billion to $5 billion to developing economies. And that's where I think with a fixed supply of around 1 billion tokens, you can clearly see that the token value is far, far, far superior to what we're currently marketing it at. So it's really just looking at, is the sector the right sector? Is the token economics right, and does it represent real value? And we really do represent utility value.
Thank you very much.
No problems, thank you.
Pleasure.
Welcome to Singapore.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So you're behind the scenes here at Cryptotrader at Consensus. Ron is often talking to the big names. Agada is talking market sentiment on the floor. We're looking for blockchain use cases, but you can't get out in the field, so the projects come to you. We found an amazing project, Sentinel Chain, that's helping farmers in rural villages. We're talking to Roy. Roy, how's it going, buddy?
Hi, Adrian. How are you doing? Thank you.
So, talk to us about Sentinel Chain, and you're tagging livestock to help farmers enjoy the benefits of blockchain, yeah?
Yes, that's right. So what we're doing is, by doing so, we allow the farmers to make use of their livestock and formalizing it as a form of asset that they can use to collateralize it for loans.
So you're in Myanmar. What's the relationship with the government in Myanmar? Obviously, there's a lot of controversy embroiled behind them, yet they're open and receptive.
Ultimately, it is about the people, the welfare to the people. Because for the last 30 years, Myanmar was unable to create livestock insurance.
So ultimately, then they're benefiting by being able to leverage their assets, being the cattle, because they can prove it on a ledger for loans.
That's right, because more than 80% of the farmers are without bank accounts.
Now again, we can't break away from the conference and be in the field, and we can't travel to Myanmar from Singapore right away on a moment's notice. So walk us through what we're seeing. We're going to cue this up for the viewers as well so you can see the process.
So in the beginning, we will have to first allow the farm owners, right, to register their identity. Now, the identity is not verified.
So it's like a KYC process for the farmers, customers.
That's right, because you need to have a third party to verify he is who he is. Right. So the information that he enters for the cattle could include the breed, the colors, the birthmarks, right, so that there are some visual cues to it.
So next, we have all the information on the cattle, the farmer, and now it gets cross-referenced onto the blockchain, and the insurance agent
will do the verification. That's right. Via the QR code that you've seen earlier, you retrieve the information, all right? And it is at this point in time when he verifies the information to be correct. And the final step, all right, is to combine the policy to the physical tag itself using the phone's NFC function.
So here's the actual tagging process. So now a cattle is affixed with an RFID. How are farmers being receptive to this, and is it making a difference? Is it making an impact?
It is, because right now the farmers are able to prove that from his phone, he can verify that the cow belongs to him, and it also makes sure that the farmer who has the cattle vaccinated, right, are protected.
Yeah, we've long heard that Southeast Asia should be one of the big testing grounds for blockchain.
That's right.
And you're seeing it work?
I see that there's a lot of potential for Southeast Asia to leapfrog the existing technologies, right, and take advantage of blockchain to solve their immediate problems.
I'm concerned with people on the ground using blockchain, and this is evidence, yeah?
That's right. That's right. Blockchain is a grassroots technology, and it needs to be used by the grassroots in order to maximize its value.
Exactly. Luckily, you've got the evidence and the proof to show that this is happening.
Thank you. Yes.
So there you have it. Blockchain in use on the ground in Myanmar, coming to you from Singapore. For more information, go to sentinel-chain.org.
So that's our look at consensus and our ever-growing look at blockchain use cases. Now it's time to head back to the city and take a look at one of the biggest projects to come out of Singapore, Kyber Network. So looking for projects that are building here in Singapore, we had to come past the offices of Kyber Network, especially after the news that they just integrated into Ethermon. I want to find out how many users they've actually got and whether their network is actually being used. Let's go have a look. Hey, how are you?
Thanks for coming.
How you doing?
I'm good.
Loy, I think a trip to Singapore wouldn't be complete without coming here to see Kyber Network. You guys were one of the biggest ICOs out of Singapore, is that right?
Yeah, so I think we were one of the most popular one. Yeah, thanks to the community who always support us.
And how much did you raise?
We raised 200,000 Ether back then. So the valuation was around 52 millions, and half of it was to spend on to provide the liquidity on the platform.
Now let's talk about Kyber and what does Kyber actually do?
So what we do is we build an on-chain liquidity protocol to allow decentralized token swap to happen on basically everywhere, on website, on wallet, and even on the smart contract.
And the token swaps that you guys allow, you allow token swaps specifically on the Ethereum network. So token swaps between one ERC20 and another ERC20, is that right?
Right, exactly. But we are working on solution to bring other coins on Ethereum network as well. So in the near future, you will see Bitcoin and a few popular coins on Ethereum.
Now, the use cases for these token trades, I mean, obviously decentralized exchanges and peer-to-peer token swaps must be one kind of use case, but what are the other kind of use cases for people on this protocol?
Right, I mean, the most obvious use case is to allow the users to convert from one token to a different one, right, within their own wallet, like ARM token or MyEther wallet. This wallet already integrated with Kyber. So we are pushing the other use cases like, decentralized payment, like, we just integrated with Ethereum. So the most popular game on Ethereum, so that their users can actually pay for the monster from any ERC20 tokens. So this is actually one of the monsters that they are releasing soon. This is like the mascot of Kyber.
How much would they pay for a monster like that?
They haven't released the price yet, but it should be around like 0.5 or 0.3 Ether,
Okay.
if I remember correctly. Yeah.
Now, as someone that's building, I mean, you guys are the real builders. There's a certain section of the market which are speculators, and they're trading on the price of ETH and Bitcoin. And there's people like you that are building. Do you look at the markets every day and worry about the price of ETH and maybe even the price of Kyber Network, or are you guys in like heads down mode?
Yeah. So I think we do look at the price like sometimes, right? Like when our friends like send us a message, hey, Ether increases like 20% today, for example. Then I have to look at and see like what's going on, right? But really we just focus 100% on building this stuff and to grow the ecosystem around Kyber and around Ethereum in general.
Now, you raised a big number of ETH. You raised 200,000 ETH. Now, 100,000 ETH went for liquidity on the protocol, which is money that went aside. But that leaves you with another 100,000 ETH.
Right.
One of the concerns that people have, or one of the questions that people have for ICOs that raise money is whether they liquidated their ETH or whether they kept their ETH in ETH. Are you one of the tokens that kept your ETH in ETH and you're holding ETH and spending every month? Or did you cash out your ETH into US dollars?
Right. So the nice thing about Ethereum and blockchain in general is that people can track, right? Like whether we have liquidated our, Ether raise yet. So we actually, convert enough so that we can have, 1 or 2 year runway, and the rest we keep in Ether, so people can actually just go to Etherscan or any like blockchain explorer to see it.
So how many ETH are you still holding of the 100,000?
So we still have around 80,000.
I'm trying to get a behind the scenes look into what happens inside the offices of people that are building. And from the outside, when people look at offices of people that are building, we don't know whether the mentality is to hold the ETH or to sell ETH. Do you sit here in your office and have meetings with your fellow founders and maybe core developers and discuss whether or not you should be liquidating the ETH and not risking the future of the runway of the business?
So I mean, we have been in this space for a long time, right? So we have seen like all the up and down. So that's why we decided like to cash out so that we can have enough like funding to run for the next couple of years, and the rest we decided like to keep in Ether because I think we are super committed in this space and we believe in the future of this space.
Does it worry you? Are you demotivated?
I mean, as I said, right, I have been in this space like for 5 years. I got a PhD in computer science, like doing research on blockchain and cryptocurrency. So I have seen like this market several times.
So the builders are building and the long-term players aren't going anywhere.
Right.
It's been a great pleasure having you on Cryptotrader. Thank
Thanks
you
a
very
lot.
much.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So that was Singapore Blockchain Week. And as our ever-growing team at Cryptotrader has found, whereas sentiment may be down, building is on the rise, and Singapore is one hell of a blockchain hub. Next week, I'll be back in studio in Johannesburg. Until then, I'll be on Twitter at CryptoManRun, and you should trade well, my friends.
Cryptotrader is proudly brought to you by eToro. Discover a simpler way to trade and invest in cryptocurrencies and more.